All right, gang, sorry for the long video here, but this may be one of the most important videos I will ever make here for the Red Delta Project. This is how to escape and break free of diet and exercise dogmas, fitness dogmas. Now, to give you a little backstory here, the Red Delta Project was founded on the idea that getting in great shape isn't nearly enough, not by a long shot. Sure, it's like if I lose the weight and I build the muscles and I get strong and hot and sexy, that'll be good enough. No, I promise, even if you get there, you may still very much be miserable. Because I've done that and I've been there and it sucks. It still sucks. People say, your body looks great. I'm like, yeah, and I want to go jump off a cliff because this is what my whole life is and I don't like my life. The Red Delta Project was founded upon the idea that we should strive for fitness independence, not just fitness in and of itself, which is the combination of being in great shape with freedom of lifestyle, to do whatever you want, to be in shape how you like, to eat what you want and exercise how you want. Think of like financial independence. Right? If getting just gobs of money was enough, then why is the executive who's working 80 hours a week and never sees his friends and family and is drinking himself to death miserable? He's got all the money in the world. Well, he's still miserable because he doesn't have freedom of his life and he dreams of a day he can have freedom. And that's because freedom is the pinnacle goal of all human beings. We want money, we want to be fit and stuff. Why do we want these things? Because they mean freedom. They equal freedom. And if we spend freedom and we sacrifice our freedom to get these things, it's a loss. We're still at a loss. This is why there are people out there who lose a lot of weight or they get great results and then you see them 2 years later and they're like, screw that, I couldn't stand it. And they run away from the methods that got them there. Why? Because it took away their freedom, because that's actually what's most important. What I'm telling you here at the Red Delta Project is that in the old days, the old ways of thinking is that if you want to get in shape, you have to adopt some sort of a dogmatic way of thinking, a dogmatic way to eat and exercise and try and be fit. The thing is, a dogma restricts your freedom. The idea is you want fitness, you have to give me freedom to follow the dogma in order to get the results that you want. And this is how most fitness plans work. And what I've discovered is exactly the opposite. If you want to be in better shape, the more freedom you have and the less dogmatic thinking you have, the better your results will be. The more you'll be able to just eat however you want to eat and do whatever you want to do and exercise however you want to exercise, the less dogmatic thinking you feel you have to adopt, more freedom will come to you, and because you're more free, you will be more fit. You will build more muscle, you will have greater weight loss, and you will be healthier, and you don't want to run from the methods that got you there. Here's how this works. First, we got to break free of dogmatic thinking, but we also have to recognize what it is and where it comes from. We have dogma and we have fitness. These two things are not the same thing. They're very, very different, as I explain in my book. Dogma is man-made. We invented it. We created it. Every diet, every workout program, hell, even the very idea of working out in and of itself is an invention from the imagination of man. We made this stuff up. Doesn't mean it's not effective. Doesn't mean it's bad entirely or anything. I'm just saying we made it up. And therefore, if it's made up, it's not essential. We don't have to have these dogmatic ideas. Now, fitness, on the other hand, is nature-made. It's a natural process, like rainbows and thunderstorms in the Rocky Mountains and high and low tide. Nature-made. Doesn't need us to exist. Fitness has existed long before we had any concept of fitness. And what I do through my book and the Red Delta Project idea is, in order to achieve fitness independence, you don't need dogmas. You just need to know the basic principles of fitness, all of which, by the way, are 100% natural. And here's the real kicker. These natural laws that are 100% in charge of your fitness, you're already following them. You don't need to know what they are to make them happen. They're already happening every single day of your life. If you want to take more control of this in your own way, then all you need to do is know what they are and control them. It's kind of like the Wright brothers when they discovered flight. They invented the airplane, but they didn't invent flight. The natural process of flight is something they observed. They know what those processes are, the principles of flight are, and they just applied them so that they control something for their own benefit. Well, getting in shape is exactly the same thing. Know what the natural processes are, as I explain in my book, and then you can use them however you want. You're going to get better results, and you don't ever have to worry about the dogmatic ideas and thinking that's out there. Dogma's man-made. Fitness is natural. We don't need anything. We don't have to have anything. But the key thing here is The reason why dogmas exist is because of an anomaly with fitness. I call it the fitness business. Fitness is kind of a weird thing in economic perspective. If you think of economics, we have supply, we have demand, right? Now, in most economic variables, we've got these two things and they're kind of in relation to each other. One goes up, the other goes down, and so on. With the aspect of fitness, with modern society, the demand for fitness is growing every single day. We want to be healthier, people are getting sicker, and obesity's on the rise, and all this stuff. So the demand for this is growing. So what do we need to do? We need to just satisfy it. We can help the world and everything's going to be better, and we can make a lot of money too, which is awesome. But the problem is, it's a natural process. We can't sell fitness any more than we can sell a thunderstorm or a sunset or a rainbow. I cannot sell you fitness. I can't sell you weight loss and I can't sell you muscle building. It's physiologically impossible. But what we can sell are influences to this natural process, which are ideas, plans, equipment, dogmas, if you will. We can sell dogmas. And so what we're doing is we're creating things to sell, to satisfy this demand. But the fact of the matter is, this doesn't satisfy the demand. If the demand could be satisfied through the dogmas, then the demand would be going down. But it's only going up, which means that this isn't nearly quite as effective. Now, in order to sell a dogma, we need to hype it up. We need some sales pitches here, which is what we created. Two different things. People are motivated for either potential benefit or potential loss. And over time, the hype has grown up to what I call, as I explain in my book, what I call doomsday thinking or marketing and utopian thinking and marketing. And the idea is simple. The dogma is sold to you at the idea of, if you can follow this diet or if you can follow these rules based on this exercise or use this equipment, then either A, everything's going to be awesome and wonderful and great. It's going to be perfect. You're going to lose weight. You're going to look great. You're going to have no pain. You're going to cure cancer, live to be 120, be hot and sexy, and be happy and healthy for the rest of your life. And or there's the doomsday. If you don't follow these rules, then you're going to be fat, you're going to be weak, you're going to be in pain, you're going to get cancer, you're going to die an early death and be a weak, miserable slob excuse of a human being. I'm kind of exaggerating these things maybe a little tiny bit, but not by much, because that's what dogmas are. They are a prison of two bars. They're a prison that shackles you into an emotional restriction, thinking you have to do this. And so this is why a lot of times when I tell people based on fitness independence, like, I eat anything I want. I don't care about sugar. I don't care about fat. I don't care about processed foods. I don't care about organic. I don't care about a lot of things. I don't care about cardio. I don't care about stretching. All of these things, I just, whatever. And people say, how can you possibly do that? It's because they've been told and they believe either of these two cases. What? If you don't stretch, aren't you going to have these terrible things happen? No. What? If you're not doing that, aren't you missing out on these benefits? No. Because fitness is a natural process, not a man-made process. And we don't need anything that's man-made in order to do this. Doesn't mean we can't take advantage of these things. Like, I have a mountain bike that costs more than my first car. It's a man-made thing. It's somewhat dogmatic to go mountain biking. But do I depend on it? Do I rely on it? If you took away my mountain bike right now, it would impact my fitness in no way, shape, or form whatsoever. Actually, it's in the shop right now. The difference with a dogma is you can follow the rules of a dogma just fine. What I want to break you free of with fitness independence is realizing you don't have to do these things if you don't want to. If you want to, go for it. Rock and roll, that's your choice. But there's a very big difference between standing in a place and feeling like you're restricted and you can't move, and standing there because you actually want to be there. Do whatever you want. That's the important thing about fitness independence. It's non-dogmatic. You can do anything you want to satisfy the basic rules and principles that Mother Nature laid down long before we came around. Once you understand what they are, you can satisfy it however you want. So if there's something in a dogmatic approach that is causing you excess fear or false hope, then you can just jettison it and not be any worse off whatsoever. So this is how we break free of the dogmas. Number one is to recognize none of them are necessary. If man created it, we don't need it to get in better shape, period. There's a way around it. There's another way to do it by satisfying these natural principles, as opposed to something that is sold to you. We create our fitness through the natural process. We don't need it through the man-made approaches. So, okay, I think I made my point here. Let me know if you have questions down below. Know it's a long video, but share it if you find this to be helpful, and check out the book on fitness independence over on Amazon.com. Be fit, live free.